This makes Andy uncomfortable. I told him this. I don't care. So I want you guys just to talk about this guy because he means a lot to you all. You know, he means a lot to me working with this guy for the past also, 9 seasons. Norman, we'll start with you. You've been with this clown the longest. What's it been like with him and saying goodbye to Andy on the show?
I mean, he was the first person I saw in the morning. As soon as we wrapped, he immediately called me in the car. I spoke, we speak all the time. We spend every lunch break in my trailer. We've shared a trailer for forever.
Taking so much money off me for playing a game I taught you.
That's true. I kicked your ass at backgammon many times.
Weird.
And I also
luckiest man alive.
Yeah.
Luckiest man alive.
He's
chubby fingers.
He's shut up. He's great. I mean, he set a precedence for us on this show. He set the bar very high right from the beginning, and we're always trying to keep it real. And he's always in our heads while we're trying to do that. He's made me a better actor, a friend, a father, like all the way down the line. He's a very, very important person to me. And we made a pact. I think it was like season 3 or 4. We're like, if you leave, I leave. Right? And that was the thing.
Are you leaving?
Yeah, is this an announcement?
Is this an announcement? It's breaking news.
Oh, hell no. But when he told me he was thinking about doing this, I get it. I have a son in New York, and I'm constantly bouncing back and forth all these 9 years to go see him, and I get it. He's got 2 beautiful children, a beautiful wife. His whole family's awesome, and you can't be mad at him for going. It's you got to get it. It's very understandable. But I'm gonna miss the hell out of him. I still sneak him scripts.
It's true.
I do, and I ask him what I should do in every scene. But it'll stay that way.
We have online acting workshops.
Yeah, he helps me all the time.
He's steering you wrong.
But I don't really do what he says. So
he just ignores me.
Yeah, but
I'm lonely.
I love Andy Lincoln. We all do. And
scripts.
He's our. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Not real.
But yeah, I'm gonna miss the hell of him every day.
Let's go, Jeffrey. What do you got to say about working with him?
I mean, we've said it. I feel like we have been talking about it for a couple of days. We've known for a little while that Andy was going to leave, and I think Andy just said it best, that it really hit here at Comic-Con. For some reason, it really kind of dawned on us all, I think, that he's no longer going to be at work with us on Monday morning. But he's a special dude, and I'm old, and I've done quite a few things and worked with a lot of people, and when I first came to The Walking Dead, my first night was an insane amount of work, and these guys busted their asses. But I remember I was driving back to the hotel, and I had just worked my first night with The Walking Dead cast, and Andy called me. And just like, welcome to the family. And that's just who he is. And I think the show is going to miss that tremendously. I think that we've all learned a great deal from him. But we love him and we miss him, and I don't know how to answer this any other way other than he's going to be missed.
I think you bring up a great point. I've seen new people join the show, and Denai, it's been a long time since you joined the show, but I remember when you first joined the show and watching the guy when he brings people in and introduces them. I mean, what was that like when you first joined back in season 3?
So Andy is a quintessential leader, and I've said this many times, and I really couldn't say it enough. I believe, and I know I'm right, that he's the best leading man on television. Like, there's something so beautiful about his form of leadership, and it does come from those first moments that you're on the set, and then you are welcomed into the family, and he is right there, present, loving, generous, kind, supportive. So, you immediately feel that there's someone, the leader, wants you to succeed and is thrilled when you do. And that can only make you better, and it can only teach you how to be better to others as well. So, what I was saying to him was, he's left us with the example of how to carry on, because he gave such a beautiful example himself. So, I couldn't say enough amazing things about this man. Quite honestly, I think he's, I would say he was like, was he hatched from an egg? 'Cause you don't meet people like him that often. But the beauty is hearing like what Norman said about how he makes, men want to be better men. And I've heard a lot of men on the crew say that. There are a lot of very straight men who are very in love with Andy Lincoln, who are missing their man
It's
crush.
getting really uncomfortable.
It's just real, you know. That I'm just saying that's how rare he is. You know, that's how.
I want my wife to know that I love her dearly.
You're supposed to be uncomfortable right now.
Yeah.
But like, it is really, it's been a beautiful journey to have spent time with this man and to learn from his example. And it's true. There's no replacing him. There's no, just getting over it. It is something that, of course, our characters are dealing with as we deal with it, So it's kind of, we're in very clear emotional synchronicity with our characters right now because the loss is felt by them and by us. But, the beauty is we're family, and he created the TWD family, really, with a few other folks. And so we get to still have him as family, and that's the beautiful thing.
And as Andy's going to be moving on, Lauren, we don't know the full scope of what's going to be happening with Maggie long term, but we do know that you're going to be moving into Whiskey Cavalier, which you're going to start shooting as well. So
Wait. I didn't get to give my Andy a
well, I'm going to
yet.
let you sort of
Okay.
merge those things together as you talk about because you got these dual emotions of like with Andy now, and then you have your own situation, which we'll see at the very least it's going to be a gap where you've got some other stuff to do. What's been like working all that out together?
Yeah, that's been, it's funny how you just said the shit getting real being at Comic-Con, because even it's been real this whole weekend, and then hearing everybody talk just in this moment, and because we know you so well, Dalton, and you've been in this family for so long, it feels extra real, and it's like the infectiousness of you is what I was just thinking about as we were all talking.
Like
and how,
a disease?
Like a beautiful disease that everybody wants. And it's the two things I always think about with you are, one, how much my dad loves you and how much he loves the way you portray Rick and the story with you and Carl, and like that father-son story has always meant so much. I mean,
that worked out well.
Yeah, right.
It's my job. It's my job.
Yeah. But yeah, the infectiousness and really a lot of what Denai was just saying about how Andy's taught us all to the lessons that he's given us. And I'm not even going to look at him while I'm saying all this, but it's like, for me, I remember coming in and being with Steven and both of us kind of sharing that gratitude of having someone like that to guide us, because before Walking Dead I had only done recurring roles in different shows, and to come in and to get the opportunity to be so long on a show that was led so well has set me up as an individual to go forward in my life and my career and my art incredibly well because of you and because of what I learned on this show. So yeah, to segue into doing other things, I'm so grateful that this has been my stomping ground for so long, and my family here is, never gone. And also Maggie's story is open-ended, so to answer that question,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, Gail, it's interesting being there from day one. I mean, like, Andrew Lincoln, #1 on the call sheet, and how different things can be if you have someone in there that doesn't create this family. Talk about just the journey that you've had along with Andy over these 9 seasons.
Well, I remember back when your audition that you did in the UK came onto my computer, and I remember calling up Frank Darabont and saying, "God, there's something in this guy." At that point, we didn't even know if we would be able to find our Rick Grimes. It was that serious. We had already cast John Bernthal because we knew we had our Shane Walsh, and then when we brought him over to the U.S. and did that initial test in Frank's garage, in the car, in Frank's garage, and that's when we said, "Oh my God, we have our Rick Grimes." And who thought it was going to be this RADA-trained UK actor that we only knew from Love Always?
Actually.
Excuse
we
me.
always
We always love Andy, but Love Actually. I mean, and literally people thought we were nuts.
So did I. Crazy.
And I remember thinking, we know how fantastic he is, but it's really important. How are we going to sell this to a U.S. audience that only knows him from Love Actually? And I remember how important it was finding that first image of you and getting that out and coming to Comic-Con because this is that journey, because we were here 9 years ago, not knowing how the fans were going to accept their beloved comic book coming to life, and as you probably all know, Andy can't watch the promos or the clips or the show, and but you heard the applause.
Yeah, it was an amazing, special moment, a real special moment.
It was.
That's why I think the coming full circle and being here now is so emotional, because it began here. That's when we got the first validation, I think.
Yeah, because the fans were worried. It's like, are we gonna screw it up?
Yeah, that was a big Stetson I had to fill. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
It's a small British head, right there.
Pretty big head.
No, actually,
But as you can tell,
The head's gotten bigger over 9 years.
but as you can tell, Andy, yes, he's a great actor, and yes, he's a great leader, but he's also the most fun person to be around. He's someone that will tell you the truth, but he will tell it to you in such a warm way that even if he's, sort of giving you some criticism, you won't realize that it's criticism. It's only after you think about it after the fact that you realize it's constructive criticism. And that is so rare these days, that it's someone who makes you better, and that makes all of us want to give him the tools to make himself better. And now he wants to be a better husband and father, and we can only wish him the best as he continues that journey. And he sacrificed so much for all of us, for the fans and for the show, that while it's bittersweet, it is TWD family forever.
Yeah,
Whether
you're coming to stay with me in
I
a
am.
couple of months.
Yep.
That's amazing.